It's Madden NFL 23, and we'll see who rules the skies in tonight's battle. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Coming up next.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Tonight, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Welcome again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy night, and we are underway from Mexico City. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
On first down, Monroe. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from his strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle because where it goes, that's where you find his body. And he was able to get in there and make a great play.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. And some space here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. And now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. They'll look to throw here.
He'll get this out wide to Penny. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He hits his target, Lockett. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
Cook is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it. Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try to hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball. got a full game ahead of him. Hand it to him again. See if they can start to produce.
On 1st and 10, Monroe. And his throw is incomplete. Drake London, his intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing again. Monroe. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Back to throw. Monroe. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Hands it off out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Monroe. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Monroe. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Monroe. And that will be incomplete as well.
How about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. And this one is no good. He missed it. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this one too low. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a A lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he coughed it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Following the fumble recovery, Monroe, and complete to Drake London. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Monroe. Flushed out right. A nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Monroe. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
To throw on 3rd down, Monroe. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Deebo Samuel, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL-caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Well, good hold in these wet conditions. The point after's up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead.
touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
He lets it fly for Lockett. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. They set up the screen to Penny. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Fielded just inside the 20. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Throwing to start the drive. Monroe buying time to his left. Throw left side complete. That's McGee. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Back to throw. Monroe. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off play action. Monroe sliding out of the pocket. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's McGee. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. He's such a good route runner.
shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They'll look to throw again. Into the hands of London. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Monroe. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Throwing on 1st down, Monroe, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Looking to throw. Monroe. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. And it's caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Operating from the gun, Monroe. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll try to run this one in. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Coup for the extra point. And it's 21-3. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. They start the drive with Cook. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. If it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll set up to throw. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Just a gain of a couple there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Back to throw. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And it will be Falcon football. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
5 yards remain on second down. Back to throw. Monroe toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete.
He definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He'll drop to throw. It's caught. Block it. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
On first down, Monroe, his throw incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. Monroe. That's complete to his tight end, Ferkser. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Monroe. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We now proceed to the start of the second half.
First up, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Seahawks in that first half. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
2nd and 4. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Monroe over the middle, complete. That's McGee. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Off the play fake, Monroe. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Monroe steps away to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's going to tuck it and run on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield, try and find a receiver, or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, Let's just say it's been unusual.
That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. They run the counter with Cook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves it with a 4th and 1.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got him in, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. A handoff as they run the counter play. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
If this was boxing, you think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered. But this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, showing that they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room and smile about, but hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
51 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, Monroe. And that will be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Dancing to his left. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Mexico City. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. This complete to Lockett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Back to throw again. They'll get this out wide to Penny. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He lets it fly for Lockett. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. And no reason not to try it there. And they do indeed convert on fourth. So after the big play on fourth, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And with the scoreboard against them here in the 4th quarter, this was definitely 4-down territory. Really nice job there of finding a way to get open, and a really nice throw. That sets them up with 1st and goal.
They'll run with Cook, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes left side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From the 6.
Now a hit and a loose football.
So already not the best to kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down.
He'll look to throw.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.